Hello and welcome to Making Time for Nuance, where we deal in more than just black and white. Today we're tackling the question, what does it really mean to be healthy? Now, answering this question can be tricky because health is far too complex to be discussed in terms of good versus bad or right versus wrong. But since part of my job is to help others be healthier, I needed to come up with my own general philosophy of what that actually means. But first, why do so many people get fired up about this issue? Well, calling someone or something unhealthy is a quick and easy way to communicate disapproval of a lifestyle, physique, or nutritional choice. But the problem is, when someone throws around the label unhealthy, it's hard to argue with them. It's too subjective. And if their definition of healthy doesn't match yours, we're left with a silly and unwinnable argument where both sides speak past each other and no common ground is even sought, let alone found. So this is my attempt to propose some of that elusive common ground. Many people seem to agree that being healthy means more than just the absence of disease, but what else it means is a bit murkier. So I've got 4 criteria that help make health a bit more concrete. Now, I want to make it very clear that I am not casting judgment upon anyone who does or does not happen to meet my subjective definition of health. Too many people use healthy as a shorthand for some kind of moral purity or worthiness, and I think that's ridiculous, so I'm not going to do it. Plus, all the criteria I list here will be actionable. Some of them will be easier to change than others, and some have a high degree of genetic luck factored in, but they can all be improved with time, knowledge, and effort. Here goes nothing. Number 1. Are you able to complete your normal activities of daily living easily and with little to no pain? For most people, not being able to complete basic daily tasks pain-free is a source of significant distress. If this is the case for you, starting with a mobility routine that increases blood flow to problem areas without increasing pain is the way to go. Number 2. Can you push yourself, whatever that means to you, without risking death or major injury? Now, the key piece here is whatever that means to you. For me personally, that means being able to play as hard as I can for a full 90-minute soccer game, go rock climbing for 1 or 2 hours, and compete difficult strength training and conditioning workouts. I want to be able to do these activities at a level of intensity that leaves me moderately tired to fully exhausted when I'm done, possibly sore for a day or 2, but otherwise completely okay. What pushing yourself means to you may be at least a little different, and that's great. The beauty of this is that we all get to choose. Maybe you just want to be able to keep up with your friends on a tough hike, or maybe you want to set a personal best in an ultra marathon. It doesn't matter if someone else finds your standard too easy or impossibly hard. What matters is what you want. And the best part is, whatever you choose, you can improve your ability to do it through training. Let's look at an example. Person A is a recreational basketball player who wants to play pickup 6 days per week. Person B doesn't enjoy sports or running, but they love walking and regularly do it for 5 miles at a time. Let's suppose person A can play basketball 3 times per week with no problem, but when they try to play nearly every day, they start having knee and ankle pain that slows them down on the court and in their daily life. Person B, on the other hand, would have no chance of playing a basketball game without an injury or a heart attack, but they're perfectly fine after even their longest of walks. So even if person A has better fitness than person B, they're farther away from this system's standards of health because they're not currently able to push themselves to the level that they want to. I also want to stress that the previous statement is made with 100% detached objectivity. There's no judgment there whatsoever. It's simply an observation. And I'm a fan of this particular piece of the system because it forces you to listen to your body. If you want to play basketball for 2 hours a day, 6 days per week, but you're always dealing with sprained ankles, shin splints, and excess fatigue, it's probably not the healthiest thing for you to do. But this way, you can't lie to yourself by saying, of course I'm healthy. I play basketball 6 days a week. Yeah, you do, but it causes you so much pain and difficulty that something should probably change. Number 3, do your metabolic health markers indicate that you're not in immediate danger? Here's the most measurable of the 4 criteria, and I must admit, this one is my least favorite. Cholesterol, blood pressure, A1C levels, and other metrics are important, but they're also hugely influenced by uncontrollable genetic factors. Take cholesterol, for example. If 200 or lower is good, does this mean 202 is bad and 198 is perfectly fine? They're only 4 points apart. Not much room for nuance there. The same goes for blood pressure. Healthy is considered 120 over 80, or maybe now it's 110 over 70. I deliberately didn't look it up because the fact the standard has recently changed supports my point. Is someone whose blood pressure is 115 over 75 unhealthy? Well, 20 years ago, no. Today, maybe a little bit, but because of this, I believe these metrics are most useful at a big picture level. For example, if your blood pressure is legitimately 180 over 110, you're not healthy. In fact, you're at imminent risk of a heart attack. According to the FDA, you're in the midst of a hypertensive crisis and you should seek medical attention immediately. The point is, all of these metrics can provide useful data. They'll point you in the direction of what may need to change or what you may need to be at least aware of. But unless they're off the charts, numbers can't truly define you as healthy or unhealthy. And if you do want to improve them, dietary and lifestyle changes will make at least a little bit of a difference. Number 4, are you happy? In the past couple of decades, we've made a great deal of progress in no longer completely separating mental and physical health. This is great because, in my opinion, happiness is the most important of my system's 4 health criteria. If you're truly happy with the situation you're in, nothing else really matters, does it? Now, I don't mean to say that we need to be walking around with a smile on our faces at all times and that we can't experience negative emotions. Obviously, that's not realistic or even desirable, but true health without happiness seems extremely difficult to sustain. Plus, there's plenty of research showing that people higher in optimism, life satisfaction, and general well-being have stronger immune systems, less chronic pain, and reduced risk of severe disease and even accidents. Now, while happiness may seem more difficult to work on or improve, staying in a job, relationship, or even city that makes you miserable is going to have detrimental effects on your health. The stress and strain simply aren't worth it. And if this is something you struggle with, where can you start? Well, happiness has been highly correlated with autonomy, so even knowing that you're going to actively do something about your situation can make it look a little brighter. If you can't or don't currently feel able to change careers, partners, or where you live, beginning with something simple like journaling or meditation can be quite powerful. So where does this leave us? Well, I would strongly argue that no single metric or standard can classify you as healthy or unhealthy outright. Even within this system I created, I'm not comfortable saying that someone who only meets 2 of the 4 criteria is definitely unhealthy, or that someone who meets all 4 is definitely healthy. I simply wanted to paint a more complete picture to try to determine what that nebulous concept of healthy means for me and those I help. Hopefully it resonated with you, but if not, I'd love to hear how you differ. Let's see if we can find some common ground. So what does being healthy mean for you? Leave a comment and let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode of Making Time for Nuance.